We're just 99 days away from the 2024 general election. Good afternoon and welcome to Election Brief. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, on all our social media platforms and around the world on myjoyonline.com. Election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Also brought to you by German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty, as well as Chopbox Technologies, a convenient service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. My name is Faustina Safo. We'll be back with details. Thanks for choosing us. We're home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. The countdown is on, and with just 99 days to decide the president and 275 members of parliament for Ghana, the Electoral Commission says it has in place a robust system that will produce credible, free, and fair elections in December. Your election headquarters, Joy News, assembled key interest groups for the election to assess the level of preparedness for the big day on December 7. Member of Movement for Change Ghana, Dr. Sakara Foster, is accusing the issue of unfairness to independent presidential aspirants.
Everybody should have the same opportunity for slotting in the ballot box. And the reason I say this is this. We know, just as the Electoral Commission itself has evolved over time, the political parties and in the political landscape will also evolve in time. When have you ever had 19 independent candidates? It tells you one thing, that the general public have less trust in the bipartisan system and a duopoly and are looking for another alternative. Electoral Commission, being the referee, should ensure that during the process of that evolution, it also adapts its processes, etc., to give all the contestants a fair chance. So we are saying that in this election, we would want to ensure that, one, as of tomorrow, all the independent candidates are given the electoral register.
As of tomorrow?
So that, yes, so that when he complains and I complain about the same thing, we'll see the frequency of complaints. If 19 people have complained about the same thing, then it must be correct.
The National Democratic Congress says the just-ended voter exhibition exercise witnessed the transfer of what it describes as illegal transfer votes. Here is the Deputy Director of Election for the NDC, Dr. Tanko Computer.
Reading the CI 91 as amended by 126, my brother is very clear. He should have read the enabling regulations. You don't do transfer in absentia. Nobody does transfer in absentia. You don't do transfer because somebody is holding ID cards and brought you a bunch of ID cards, do transfer, and you sit in your office comfortably and transfer them. Is that what the CI says? You are reading CI telling me how transfer. Transfer says that I should appear before the returning officer in the constituency. Is that not what you read? But what we are talking about is illegal transfer. Somebody has brought a bunch of ID cards to you in the office, and you transfer them. Is that what the CI says? That is what we are referring to, the issue in Tamale. The people ID cards were collected by a crooked person.
But Dr. Tanko, he's saying that they would investigate.
That is what I'm saying. That yes, it's an issue that we are saying that it's one of the issues that is affecting their registration, and we are talking about it. And quickly, look, regulation about provisional register, regulation 22.1, what Dr. Bosman was referring to, is referring to the Electoral Commission. It's not saying that give the register to political party 3 months, within 3 months. The register is saying that the commission shall not later than 3 months after. Later than 3 months from the end of the registration period, compile a provisional voter register in the country stating the ages and all that, and showing the photograph of the application for registration was accepted at the registration center. That's what they are referring to you. Then they are saying that when you do this completion, the two, at the end of the completion of the provisional register, as provided in sub-regulation 1, a copy of the provisional register shall be given to each registered political party in the form determined by the commission. Right. So clearly, The regulation is not saying that give it to us 3 months after you have done the compilation. Within 3 months, when you finish your compilation. So we are asking you, when did you finish the compilation? Because you wrote to us on 18th July. Bring your external drive. Okay. Presumably, you would have finished compilation and register. And you're just bringing a mop up. And then to cap it all, Dr. Bosman, your commission should do Ghanaians a favor by stop issuing certain statements. When we wrote to you and asked that we want to have a meeting with you, you wrote back to us, accepting that on the 6th of September, we should come and have this engagement. Quickly in the evening, you issued a statement saying that your register is credible and it can be used for a purpose and they should ignore all that. Is this register credible? Why did you display that register for exhibition? For people, are you not telling us corrections and all these things should be done? Okay. That tells you that register has a problem that needs to be corrected before we can move to. Time's up and you've made the point.
But the NPP appears to be satisfied with the process of Haruna Mohammed is Deputy General Secretary of the party.
I've had a discussion about the transfer of voters. I think that my brothers are trying to throw dust into the eyes of the citizens of Ghana. Please, when you are to win an election, you don't cause chaos or misinform. Misinformation is very dangerous to a democracy. There is a law that governs transfer of voters, and this is CI 127. When you go to Regulation 22, my brother is aware. He has been a director of elections for the Northern region for a long time before coming to the national level. You know that transfer of voters list is contained in Regulation 22 of CI 127. And it reads, a registered voter who before an election is resident for not less than 12 months in a constituency other than that in which the registered voter is registered may apply to the returning officer of the constituency where the returning officer is resident for the name of the registered voter to be entered on the transfer voters list of a polling station. How can Electoral Commission sit down and then transfer somebody if the person did not go through this procedure? We've had these discussions with you. You can disagree with the Electoral Commission, but this is the procedure.
So how do those 26,000 people disappear?
We cannot even verify that. This is just mere saying. Remember, the NDC has told us that they have won elections. They went to court. When they asked them for the results, they did not have any results. They have said a number of things that when you follow them, and then they cannot justify them.
But the Electoral Commission is fighting back, insisting it is not responsible for transferring votes. Deputy Chair Dr. Bosman Asare says steps will be taken to correct all anomalies with the register.
When you look at our processes, when we are registering, we do with the political parties. When we are doing the exhibition, the parties are aware. Although they are allowed to send their agents there, they decide not to do that. After this process, we are going to do what we call the nominations. After the nominations, we are going to be printing the notices of poll. Dr. Tanko is aware when we are printing, all the parties are there. When we are printing the ballots, all the parties are there. When we are transporting the ballots, all the parties are there, including security. So our system is so transparent and you can easily predict. Everything is transparent. When we are sending the ballot papers to the polling stations, the parties are there. So as a commission, we believe our reputation is on the line and want to do better than what we did in the past. So we will continue to ensure that we work with all the parties so that we have a very credible election. And we think that the presence of the party serves as a serious check on our work. We want to make sure that the right things are done. And the work you do at Joy FM, you want to maintain a standard. The Commission wants to do much, much better so that Ghana will continue to be known as a beacon when it comes to democratic elections. That's what we want to do.
The Electoral Commission, they are assuring the issue will organize a free and fair election. Now, at the Lejokutuku constituency here in the Greater Accra region, the Health Minister, Dr. Okuboy, has been addressing the people's concern. Now, he is going for another term. My colleague, Papa Niashali, has been interacting with him.
We are coming to you from Lejokutuku constituency, arguably one of the major battlegrounds as we have 99 days to the December 7 polls. Well, let me start from the NDC side because they are currently in Parliament. Benjamin Ayiku represents them in Parliament.
We have the greatest opportunity to stay in power, and Honorable Benjamin Ayiku has distinguished himself very well to the people of Lejokuku, and we have no doubt in our mind that in December 7th, they will retain him as the MP of this particular constituency. He could go to Lekma Hospital, where Okoboy claims to be the deputy minister then, and working in the consultation room, detain women who had come to what? Deliver. He would go to that.
Not necessarily detained. I mean,
well, to put it,
they were not detained. I mean, if they couldn't afford their medical bills, that is not detaining them.
And if you can't go home, you have detained them.
But nobody's holding you there.
Yes.
You financially put yourself there.
Yes, but the issue is that Aiku goes there and then counts the number of people who are there. And then say, okay, you are owing, and then settles all of them their bills before he became even the MP.
You think that you've done enough to, make sure that all the thousands of people that voted for the MPP last year will vote for you?
Certainly, again, we can say his contribution to the southern part of the constituency, where when you look at the Teshi Community Hospital, he has been able to renovate the place and given it a facelift.
I like the fact that you decided to start from health, given that you also come in against somebody whose background is health. I'm pretty sure the MPP side will disagree. Let me start with Stephen. Kwabena Yensu. Kwabena, so, you've heard from them. The thing that you have been deputy minister, your candidate has been deputy minister, he's now the substantive minister for health. They think that they still have the upper hand over you.
All right. When it comes to health, he made an allegation that Dr. Okoboy has performed abysmally when it comes to health in the Lejokuku constituency. That is not so. That is not right. Now, in terms of health, this is a health minister, a medical doctor, which Lejokuku constituency had, that every month he organizes a free health screening for constituents when he was MP. Even when he lost his seat in 2020 at the Lekma Hospital, he goes there every Monday to offer free medical consultations for the people who come to him.
You think that there's more to him? That is why they retain him at the NHIM. Now he's the substantive minister for health. I'll come back to you, Stephen. So you think that you've done enough in the constituency to win the thousands of votes that went to the NDC last year?
When he was a member of parliament, he set up a mobile, a community, a small clinic at the London site. It was an innovative idea.
They believe that they have done enough to unseat your person. What really are you promising the people of Lejokuku that you think that will resonate with the people on the ground?
We are promising the people of Lejokuku jobs for the youth. But you see, for a medical doctor and the deputy minister of health, to go and build a container as a clinic for his people is very shameful.
A makeshift clinic.
It's a container.
It's something we have even seen.
It's a container. Do you know what is a container?
Yes, I know what a container is.
And you know what? Okoboy had the opportunity to be deputy minister. Do you know what he did? He built wooden bridges that when it rained, it would just carry it away. Because of his abysmal performance and his disrespect for the people of Lejokuku, they sack him one time. So it is not that, you see, they say that when you want to see the character of a man, give him power and money. And when Okoboy started seeing power and money, his lifestyle changes.
Lejokuku, again, is never a swing constituency. It is always swing. It swings whenever there's division amongst the NDC. And I'm telling you on facts today that the NDC, as it stands now in this very constituency, is very united.
Today, it took the effort of Dr. Bernard Okoboy. When you go to the Teshi Sangona, where our fisher folks are, they have a WAF, a landing beach. Now they are going around claiming that the WAF is uncompleted. What is Dr. Honorable Benjamin Ayuku supposed to do when it is not completed? Go out, speak for the people. Don't say because MPP started because you are waiting for John Mama to come and complete it.
So, well, they will not decide. They are just for. The thousands of people in the constituency will decide, and in just 99 days, they will do that. Whether the NDC will retain the seat for the parliamentary seat or Bernard Okoboy from the MPP side will manage to unseat him, well, that remains to be seen. We'll definitely be monitoring the Lejokuku constituency and bring you all the details as it happens. For Joy News, Michael Ashali.
Meanwhile, stakeholders are united in urging the protection of journalists as they cover election-related stories. This concern took center stage at the National Dialogue on Media Freedom organized by the Multimedia Group in Accra. The event gathered key stakeholders to discuss threats faced by the media and media practitioners and explore ways to curb this risk as the election approaches. Carlos Caloni has a wrap of the event.
Organized by Multimedia Group Limited in collaboration with Denmark's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and CDD Ghana, the National Dialogue on Press Freedom in Accra, themed Defending Media Freedom, brought together key players from Ghana's media, the diplomatic community, civil society, political parties, and security agencies. Several panelists emphasized the crucial role of the press in elections and why there is the need to safeguard their right. Deputy Danish Ambassador to Ghana, Vibeke Holm Pedersen, stressed the importance of a free press to democracy, but expressed concern over Ghana's decline on media freedom ranking.
We all know the challenges which has faced the media and the journalists in Ghana in recent years, leading to a drop of 30 rankings on the World Media Press Freedom Index in 2021, where Ghana declined from a 30th position to number 60. In the African ranking, Ghana fell from number 3 to number 13. I think everybody can agree that this development must be reversed. The government of Ghana did, during the Universal Periodic Review in the UN in 2023, support the recommendation put forward that Ghana should develop a national action plan to prevent attacks on journalists and to promote media freedom. Ghana has strongly shown its commitment to press freedom. Developing this action plan would further strengthen this commitment.
Director of Elections at the Electoral Commission, Benjamin Barno Bill, emphasized that the media plays an essential role in ensuring credible elections, underscoring the urgent need for journalists to be protected during the electoral process.
The media is indispensable in our quest to ensure successful election. As a commission, we consider the media as one of our critical stakeholders, and therefore the media must be protected to enable them to perform their duties professionally.
Representatives from the NDC, CPP, and Movement for Change emphasized the critical need to protect media freedom as the elections approach. Meanwhile, NCCE chairperson Kathleen Addy raised concerns about disinformation and urged the media to actively combat it.
On disinformation, misinformation, and fake news, especially in the context of politics and elections this year, we have already seen it. And some of the perpetrators will stand on this very spot that I'm standing and condemn others, yet they have machines set up to churn out fake news, disinformation, and misinformation in their bid to get power. Misinformation, disinformation, and fake news is a threat not just to the democracy, but to the very existence. It's an existential threat to our state. And if we do not manage disinformation and misinformation well, we will find ourselves in a place that we don't want to be.
In his keynote address, Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufo-Dampare, urged the media to refrain from declaring election results and to ensure that post-election reporting does not incite tensions.
The responsibility for declaring election results rests with the EC. So let's respect that. Because when results are declared wrongly from the wrong source and it becomes multiple in the environment, it is in itself a disinformation and misinformation, this time round not created by anybody, but we the carriers. And if you're able to do that for these elections, even if God called me to glory and nobody attend my funeral, I'll be happy. So whilst we try to report, let us manage it in such a way that the losers will feel respected, the winners will be allowed to be measured in their jubilation. Because at times, we'll be any break, and now the mic, And then our person.
Dr. Dampari also assured that the Ghana Police Service has plans to support individual journalists and media houses before, during, and after the elections.
A lot of education is ongoing, and we are mainstreaming media education and protection of journalists and the media to a level that it is helping us to have a situation where we are gradually getting to a point where journalists are not being attacked by us. We have a lot of work to do in that angle. We want to assure you today that we'll continue improving so that a day will come, because it's one of the measures we are using to determine whether we have truly become the best institution in the country and a reference point for the rest of the world. So we does not take that of mainstreaming, this sense of protection of journalism and the media, we don't take it for granted.
The dialogue also featured a panel discussion where participants from various sectors emphasized the importance of responsible journalism. For Joy News, Carlos Galoni, Accra.
Now let's take you to the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi. My colleague Nanawachi Yadrum has been interacting with some voters. They've been sharing what exactly would influence their vote ahead of December 7 elections.
But this side, say Ukraine, Metro Mandis, me fancy. Metro Mandis, me fancy. You are the Bakwa Meches, Metro Mandis, and he say, the time one, na your mama was no. And Ukraine na me fi say Nana Akufo-Addo the president na minim say be nani afi enti upon everything no e be anim die e be so ache John Mama because o ka say free education fa obi apa hoto and at the same time say use say on so sikaneso na otisikaso on so fine say ni nyina achi die no oba no say be me hu say so sikaneso because obi a we president na say tu ni dia na say so sikaneso but still na normal ko yi.
First and foremost, I'm voting for the NDC. That's the presidential John Dramani Mahama. The result is simple. If we look at the current situation here, during John Mahama time, me for instance, I'm a businessman. I used to buy palm oil from Ghana and take it to Nigeria. And I used to go to around the eastern region to do all this kind of business. So during those days, I buy palm oil, that Kufuor gallon, that big Kufuor gallon, it costs around 50 Ghana cedis, somewhere around 2015, 2016, 50 Ghana cedis. But somewhere around 2017, 18, it shoots up to 150 Ghana cedis, 200 Ghana cedis. As I speak to you, it's 400 Ghana cedis. And for the past 3-4 years, I've not been able to even buy a single palm oil and take it to Nigeria. Meaning my business has collapsed. As I stand here, I'm not doing the business. Why? Because things have changed. Things are very expensive. The oil is very expensive, so we cannot buy it anymore. Me oman na ewu mu no efitete na ho kire wo mu abeto samri ela na na do so ba ye waye bi pa na wiase no ablabo no sa na wose kodo e wa bible nyame anum asemu an ye wo no eti de na na do aye de ya be se wo hwe o mayi ma e ma bele papa e ma na hwe ye ma e mema enhwam wo yi mema du gina ho a kakra bi na hwe e ma ndodo na nyame ya adom wabema free education ama nenkurasefo nyina ekɔ school me that time ka free education wo ho aka me ko school ni bi ka yesam ti dwomo no eti na free education na obakɔ SS kwa no wanto asokora na government bi betimi aba ama nesta wasako eti SS ne dia na nado aye bi pa
embesi sama adwene se sebi penfo no amba no ni na mo nka ne kura nkyerɛ because obi abetina se obediska obi abetina to obediska na nado obaye usi obi ntimi ye adana wu antimi anye ana problem no hwe dollar baby edru
ba obeka to so the free SHS aba for my one district one factory
odi baye fine on the enkaja on farm odi baye but e come di nipa scan ni nipa ni bottom say our big 500 person can no 50 city. Say no on to me answer. Ye Johnny Jan Colano of fear and Sana Bajumum. Sana so anti me boy.
It's a wusha who December no why you say hey fan what about Sobeko.
There be the old boy on number 2 about.
Well, in the lead up to the 2024 election, the focus on women's empowerment in Ghana has gained significant momentum, particularly with Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman as the running mate for John Dramani Mahama. With a strong commitment to advancing the rights and progress of women, Professor Opoku-Agyeman has garnered the support of a dedicated group known as Jane's Army of Women. Well, this afternoon, we'll take a closer look at this group and their mission. Joining me in the studio is Sally Abnat Deborah. She is the national organizer, and Mavis Krampa. She is the chapter head for Tema West. Thank you, ladies, for coming here. You are Nutifafa, right?
Yes.
Yes. Nice meeting you, and Sally as well. I would start with Sally. For people who are not aware, what's this group all about in the first place?
Thank you very much. The JAW is about, it's a women's thing. It's all about empowering women. And for the first time in our history, a lady has been given such a position. So we'll plead with everyone to try and support this agenda. It's a women's agenda. Any woman all over the world can support Jane.
Fafa, is this an NDC affiliated group?
No, it's not an NDC affiliated group. But Prof is an NDC material. Most importantly, we are here to support Prof. We are here to make sure that we get the woman in the space.
What specific initiatives are you proposing that would help empower women when you look at Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman?
The initiatives we are coming up with, we have various initiatives. We are looking at the corporate sector women, the bankers. We are looking at the market women. We are looking at our mothers. We are looking at every woman. We are even looking at the little girl. Yes.
Sally, I can see that you're looking at diverse groups, but one would say that you are centered on urban areas. How would Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman resonate with people in the rural community?
Oh, we have a way that we're going to do that because we have our chapter heads all over the rural places. So what we intend to do, we already have our WhatsApp groups, other platforms that we are able to reach them. So today is being a day of inaugural day. So we've had all the head chapters coming in. As we speak to you, the event is going on. And so they are going to manage other people from the rural areas. Thank you.
Let me come to Fafa. What specific challenges do you feel women face right now moving forward?
There are lots of challenges. Our mothers, sometimes even resources to start their own business, sometimes how to raise their children, how to manage the home with their various responsibilities, either corporate or non-formal. They have various challenges, and we believe that Prof, being a woman, will be able to understand some of the situations and will be able to help us as women manage some of the situations.
I would wrap up with Sally. Finally, what would be your message to anyone watching, and why should we garner support for Jane Nana Opoku?
Oh, like I said earlier on, it's a women's agenda. So I would encourage all women, especially in Ghana, in the rural areas, wherever they are, to all have their ears open. That there's something going on. It's a women's thing. It's about Jane. It is about supporting women. It's about empowering women. It's about the woman has to be heard.
Oh, to be seen. If I leave Sally, she go on and on. We'll run out of time, unfortunately. That's how we wrap up the bulletin. This is Election Brief. For more news, please log on to myjohnonline.com. My name is Faustina Safu. Good afternoon.